Okay, so let me show you how to do the Gay-Lussac's lab. We're going to be manipulating temperature, and pressure will be the responding variable. So we're going to change the temperature and see how that affects the pressure. So for the temperature, we're going to have 4 temperatures. We're going to have a cold water bath with ice. We're going to have room temperature, that's just right here with nothing, the flask won't be in anything at all. We're going to have hot running water, so you're going to run the tap water until it's hot, probably going to be 40, 60 degrees, but your temperature sensor will let you know. And you're going to have water on a hot plate until it starts to boil. So we're going to trap a gas in this flask. So of course, when we put the flask into the bath, it's going to displace the water. So you have to be careful not to fill your beakers too full. So this is a 600 ml beaker, and you're going to put about 300 ml of water. Make sure it comes to the top of the flask. So in this case, I would have to add more water so it comes to the top. All right, so let's just take a look. Of course, we're using our beautiful Labquest. We're going to have 2 sensors, the thermometer sensor plugged into the back, as well as the gas pressure sensor. So in this case, we're going to use this plug, and you can see it makes 2 eyes and a nose. It's a happy face. So this nose, of course, no gas can go through there because it's plugged, but we have 2 holes, so you need to put the stopcock in one hole. Okay, so that's going to plug that hole so that the gas can't escape. Now, just like at home, when this is parallel, your pipes at home, the water can run through. So in this case, the air can go through. So you want to close it. So it should be perpendicular so that gas can't escape because we're trying to trap the gas. In the other hole, you're going to put the tube that's going to connect to the pressure sensor. So I'm going to put that in there. So now you can see I've got the 2 eyes, have the 2 tools in them, and that knob is blocked. Now this rubber end is going to go screwed onto the gas pressure sensor. So I'm going to screw this on. Okay, so there you go. So now you've got the tube, and this is going to go onto our flask. Okay, so first of all, we can see at room temperature at 20.5, we've got a particular pressure, 89.55 kPa. So then I'm going to take this flask and I'm going to put it in the cold ice water bath. I'm going to push it down until it's at the top. So in this case, I think we need more water until it comes to the top of the flask. So please make sure you have enough water in your beakers. And so now you're just going to wait, and you're going to wait, and you're going to be patient, and you're going to watch the Labquest and make sure that you're reaching equilibrium. So you're just watching the numbers and waiting for the pressure and the temperature to be consistent. Okay, and then you're going to record that into your data table. Okay, now of course the temperature sensor is reading degrees Celsius. You need to convert that to Kelvin. All right, so once that's not done yet, but for you in your real life situation, you're going to wait until it's nice and equilibrated. Okay, so now this is cold, really, really cold. So what would happen if I take this really cold flask and plunge it into boiling water? Right? It would crack. So be careful not to do that. So instead of going from really, really cold to really, really hot, we're going to just let it warm up. I'm going to use my hands. I don't want to fracture the glass. So I'm going to warm this up a little bit, and then I'm going to go into the hot running water. This is probably about 40 degrees. So actually, we'll do that 1 second. So I'm feeling this is pretty good. It's not so cold anymore. And I'm going to put my temperature gauge in there and my trapped gas. And again, I'm going to look at the CBL, and I'm going to wait for it to equilibrate until we've got consistent pressure and consistent temperature. So that might take a few minutes. Please be patient. Okay, so you'll be waiting for that. Okay, and then lastly, so you've done room temperature, you've done ice water, you've done warm water, and now you're going to go into the boiling water. So be very, very careful because it's going to be very hot. Now, one very important thing that we will get very upset with you. This is a very malleable plastic tube. If it hits the hot plate, it will melt, and we will be angry. Angry, angry. You will get 0 on your lab. Do not let this tube hit the hot plate. Okay, so now you're going to go in here. So this is boiling hot water. Please be careful. You're working in twos. You need your temperature sensor in there. And your partner is holding the wires to make sure nothing gets hit. And you're putting your flask in. Okay, you might be using hot mitts so that you're not getting burned. So just be reasonable. Your Chem 20 students, don't hurt yourselves. So now you're holding this in and you're waiting again for the CBL to equilibrate. You're reading the pressure and the temperature, and you record once you've got a consistent value. Okay? And then once that's done, you can remove your flask. Be careful. It's hot. Be very, very careful. And you're good. So you got all your data, and now you can go clean up your lab and go to your desk and make your graphs. Okay.